Hello, Mighty Eagles. I'm one of your guidance facilitator, Ria Natividad. Guidance services has always been and will still be very much active during the implementation of distance and flexible learning, most especially during these challenging times. Today, we are going to give you an orientation on how to avail the different services offered by the Office of the Guidance Services in the new normal. Let's have the individual inventory record. This service aims to gather information about the students' needs, abilities, interests, as well as their educational and family background amidst distance learning. Here's the flow of the procedure and the person in charge. The guidance personnel will post a modified individual inventory record online via Google Forms, and the students will have to accomplish the form and submit it thereafter. Then, the guidance personnel will sort, profile, and print the copy of the submitted modified individual inventory. Subsequently, the counselors will place the individual inventory record in the student's cumulative file and will then be ready to organize the student's cumulative record. In connection, the procedure for the updated individual inventory record is the same with that of the individual inventory record. The only difference is all forms in updated individual inventory record will be in the updated format since it aims to update the general information of the students. Now, let's proceed with the counseling services. This service aims to address the concern of students in distance and flexible learning. Here's the procedure on how to avail this service. Students, advisors, or parents will reach out to the guidance counselors or guidance facilitators online or through the helpline Kaagapay. The attending guidance counselor will conduct an interview or counseling relevant to the weight of the concern, will take down notes on the important details of the interview, and if needed, the counselor will recommend the counselee for further interventions. If the counselee needs further assistance, the recommendation for follow-up interview will be done by the counselor. However, if the counselor is no longer effective or the case goes beyond the counselor's experience and expertise, and further intervention is much needed by the client, referrals from outside organization will take place. Nevertheless, termination of the counseling session will occur when the counselor and the client's goal mutually agreed upon is achieved and the problem is manageable. If that's the case, here's how the referral outside the organization is done. The guidance personnel will seek the consent of the client and related individuals. Afterwards, the personnel will communicate with outside organization and will inform the client of the agreed schedule of the session. Hence, helping professionals from outside organizations will facilitate the intervention needed, will create a report about the case or concern, and will send a copy of the report to the Office of the Guidance Services. Consequently, the guidance personnel will have to keep the report for future reference and log the case or concern in the counseling logbook. For the referral from students, faculty, deans, and program coordinators and other members of the institution, they need to approach the office for consultation. The guidance personnel will evaluate the weight of the concern and decide if there is a need for further intervention. If so, the personnel will evaluate if the client needs follow-up or referral from outside organization. Hence, the personnel will have to log the entire consultation up to the end of consultation. The service for the follow-up in distance and flexible learning is facilitated when the guidance head, counselor, or facilitator finds a need for monitoring and follow-up of client. They will identify clients that need further intervention through the student's individual record, counseling records, or referral forms. Then, they will inform the clients about the follow-up and give the schedule of the counseling sessions. In addition, the personnel will facilitate the intervention needed, identify the theme of the concerns for reference, and note down the important details of the session. Personnel will now evaluate if referral from outside organization is necessary. Nonetheless, if the session's goal is achieved, the personnel will terminate the follow-up session and log the case or concern in the counseling logbook. This time, let us talk about the consultation. This service aims to give an expert insight on needs and behavior of students in their transition to distance learning and flexible learning methods. This is how consultation can be done. The guidance personnel will inform concerned individuals about the consultation and create a schedule for a Zoom meeting. The personnel will be the one to facilitate the consultation, present data, and create a proposal. Afterwards, parents, teachers, administrators, deans, and program coordinators will evaluate the proposal and craft the final draft of the program, policy, or service that is addressed. Monitoring of the attendees signing the attendance sheet can now be undertaken by the guidance personnel. Finally, we go to the evaluation of the guidance services. This service aims to have a systematic mechanism to measure the effectivity and implementation of the different guidance services in the transition to distance and flexible learning method. Here's the flow for the procedure. Guidance head, counselors, and facilitators will distribute evaluation forms after every guidance activity or program via Google Forms. Then, the guidance facilitators will tally the results of the collected evaluation forms. Furthermore, the guidance head and guidance counselors will interpret the results of the evaluation and create a report out of these evaluations. Lastly, the personnel will forward the report to the higher administration. I hope this familiarizes you with the guidance services this academic year. Despite this difficult time that we are going through, the Office of the Guidance Services remain committed in assisting you become people of excellence and character. Aliman now today, tomorrow the world.